welcome to the Halloween edition of Friday Night Vedder Mysteries. Okay, a couple of things my director Astrid would like me to cover off straight off the top. First, and most importantly, we're premiering this on the Wednesday before Halloween, so more viewers will get a chance to see it before the big night of scary. I assure you, though, we're not changing the title of the show to Wednesday Night Vedder Mysteries. Secondly, and perhaps even more importantly, I'm alive. If you watched the season 1 finale last month, and thank you if you did, you recall that I was wrapping up the program. I fell victim to a poisoned dart delivered by blowgun. Astrid, my director, mercifully just happened to have some poisoned dart frog antivenom in her purse, which she quickly administered to me. Here's a photo of what these cute but deadly frogs look like. Adorable. Anyway, I was laid up in the hospital again for what seemed like an interminable time. They're getting used to seeing me there and... wait. Okay, Astrid, okay. Righto. She wants me to move it along, so, okay. What you've all been waiting for. A very mysterious horror tale from Chilliwack's past. A very mysterious past. Local noted author Margaret Reveley dug a bit into her family history. I believe it was a second cousin or something, to come up with this totally true tale. And boy, is it dark. Apparently, on Halloween in 1962, a horrific murder took place at a house in the Chilliwack downtown core. The police were never able to establish who the culprit was, and the evidence they did find only left everyone all the more befuddled. So, Margaret did a bit of further digging and, well, rather than spoil anything, let's watch and listen to the world premiere of All's Wicked That Ends Well. A Chilliwack Halloween chiller on Friday Night Vedder Mysteries. If you dare.
Hear that train? It's the 3:30 bound for Chilliwack. On board are newlyweds Ella and Jay on the last leg of their journey to take up residence with Jay's mother, Mrs. Kruger. There she is, the stout woman in the blue coat waiting at the station for them. Our lovebirds are eager to start their new life together, but their new life together may have a flaw. Our dear old Mrs. Kruger may not be as eager for this new life as our two little lovebirds. Let's listen and see what unfolds.
Oh, darling, the mountains are amazing. You didn't tell me it would be this pretty.
That one over there is called Lady Peak. In the winter, when it's covered with snow, it looks just like the head of a dog.
Do you think we could get a dog?
Not a chance. Mother's allergic to dogs, cats too, and I couldn't even have a guinea pig growing up.
Who are you? Oh, the fields are so lovely. You must have missed it so while you were away studying.
I did indeed. But we're home now. We're home now, and I know you're going to love Chilliwack just as much as I do.
And I'm going to try my best to be a good wife for you.
It's a shame Mother couldn't come to the wedding. Oh, I can't wait for her to meet you. She's the greatest woman in the world.
Oh, my. Then I'm not starting out being such a good wife, am I?
No, my sweet. I didn't mean it that way. You're a swell girl, and you know how much I love you. Mother is going to be crazy about you, that's all.
She raised a kind and gentle man all on her own, so I'm sure I'm going to love her.
Just think, since I was 5 years old, it's been just her and I in that old house on Spadina. Now she's going to have a daughter-in-law, someone else for her to love and care for. Maybe she'll make her special pancakes for us tomorrow.
Maybe I should be making her breakfast. I thought since we'd be living in her house, I should be the one to help take care of her.
Mumsy's pretty particular about her kitchen. The entire house, for that matter. She does like things a certain way. But if there's anyone who can work their way into that inner sanctum, it's you.
The way you say that makes me a bit nervous.
Don't you worry about Mother. Underneath it all, she's a sweet old pussycat. I got her wrapped around my little finger, and it won't be long before you have too.
I hope you're right. For all our sakes, I hope you're right.
Come, my boy, your breakfast is ready.
You're up early. Hasn't Ella come down yet?
I have never seen one to lie in their bed until all hours as that girl.
Ah, Mumsy. You don't mean that. It's not even 7 a.m. yet. Besides, she's not been feeling well again this morning. Maybe there was something off with that fish you cooked last night. I'm thinking she may need to go to the doctor. It's been the 4th day in a row that her stomach has been bad.
I'm sure she doesn't need a doctor or that the fish was off. We all ate it and you and I are fine. Perhaps it's the change in the water or a concern of the feminine sort.
Oh. And she's been having nightmares, calling out in her sleep, poor girl. Maybe you could take her up a cup of tea. That might make her feel better.
Sick or not, if she was any kind of a decent wife, she'd be down here already. I'll take her some tea after you leave for work.
She really is fond of you, Mother. Do try and be a bit nicer.
Well, I'm not that fond of the fact that she's calling me Mother already. And you've only been here for 2 weeks. But she hardly knows me. She hardly knows you. Married after only knowing her a month.
What would you like her to call you?
Mrs. Kruger would do just fine. More respectful. I have been your mother a lot longer than she's been your wife. I called your grandmother Mrs. Kruger until the day she died.
Times have changed. Listen, Ella didn't want me to tell you this, but I think you should know. She lost her parents when she was 16. They were brutally murdered in their own home in the middle of the night by some fiend. The poor thing was the one who found their bodies the next morning. It's a miracle she didn't suffer the same fate. I can't imagine how terrible it must have been for her. I guess she just wants to feel like she has a mother again, a family again.
How dreadful. Now that you've told me that, well, I must say, I think there is something a little strange about that girl. Can't quite place my finger on it. Call it a mother's intuition. All I say is that you need to be careful.
Me? Don't be silly. You don't mean that. Your jealousy is showing. She's just trying so hard to make you like her and to be a good wife to me. Try and be nice to her for my sake. And please don't let on that I told you all that.
For you, my precious boy, I would do anything in the world.
You know, you'll always be my best girl, but she's a sweet kid. And this is all so new to her. This move has been really hard for her. No friends, no family, no home of her own. We're all she has now.
don't think it's not been hard for me, too. All I have ever known is, well, being a mother to you. What would I ever do with myself if, well, I don't have you to look after?
Don't worry, my sweetness. There's plenty of me to go around. You and Ella can share.
But I don't want to share.
What was that?
Oh, nothing. Nothing, my precious boy. Finish your breakfast or you'll be late for work. I packed your lunch already. There's a thermos of homemade soup in it.
Oh, gosh, Mumsy. You really are the best mother a guy could have.
Well, I couldn't send my boy off on his first day as pastor at Five Corners Reformed Church with anything but the best, now could I? Here comes your little sweetheart now.
Good morning.
Darling, you're up. Are you feeling better?
Much. My stomach's just a little off, I suppose.
Mother was just about to bring you up a cup of tea. Isn't that nice of her?
Very sweet. Thank you, Mother.
Well, look at the time. I gotta run or I'll be late.
Don't forget your scarf. It's a damp morning and I don't want to see you catch cold.
Oh, I'll get it.
No, you sit and have your tea. I'll get it for him. There, all bundled up. Off you go now.
Have a good day, dear. Maybe your mother and I could make you a nice roast beef dinner tonight.
Oh, now that would be swell. You two have fun. I'll see you later.
All that talk about roast beef dinners, it's only Tuesday. Jay likes his roast beef dinner on a Sunday. You do look a little pale. Drink your tea before it gets cold.
I'm sorry. I guess I'm not feeling as well as I thought. It tastes a bit bitter.
Drink it up anyway. A cup of strong tea is good for the digestion.
But it has a funny odor to it.
There's nothing wrong with it. Drink up. By the way, Jay told me what happened to your parents.
Oh. I had asked him not to. I told him that in confidence.
My boy and I hide nothing from each other. Oh, we keep no secrets. He says they were murdered in their beds.
It's something I'd rather not talk about.
And that you slept in the room right next door and never heard a thing. Seems a bit odd.
It was a long time ago. I'd rather leave the past where it belongs.
You must be a very sound sleeper.
I've tried to put that all behind me. It's just too painful to think of.
But trauma like that, it's enough to make anyone a bit crazy, isn't it?
What are you implying?
Well, I'm implying nothing, my dear. Never mind. We've got a busy day ahead of us. The basement needs a thorough cleaning.
I'd be happy to help with that. I'm sure together we can get it done in no time. Then perhaps we could bake a pie for Jay's supper.
Oh no, dear. Oh, no. Oh, you'll have to do the basement on your own. My lungs just won't take all that dust. My boy would not be happy if his Mumsy made herself sick, now would he?
Of course, Mother. Jay would never want to see anything happen to you.
Good idea, though. I'll bake the pie while you're down there. I doubt that you'd be able to make it to his liking, my dear girl.
There is a creak to that old basement door that makes the hair on Ella's arms stand on end. It's a creak like the opening of a crypt. She flips on the light, but the weak bulb does little to dispel the gloom at the bottom of the stairs. Unwelcome memories from her childhood begin to creep into her mind, memories that lead to a dark night of soft footsteps down a hallway, of screams in the blackness and of blood. So much blood. Damp coolness wafts up as she descends. Down amongst the cobwebs and shadows, there's a small room with a latched door. Inside that door are rows and rows of Mrs. Kruger's canning, lined up neatly and glinting like little jewels. On other shelves, the dim light reflects off an old Buck Rogers lunchbox, tin cars and trucks, a worn baseball mitt that sits propped against a baseball. Dusty boxes labeled carefully with Jay's name, a shrine to a childhood. But there's something else in that little room, something that gives Ella pause, something that makes her breath catch in her throat and a smile to her lips. She steps over to the shelf of Mrs. Kruger's canning. She picks up a jar and she lets it slip from her hand. It shatters like a bomb on the cement floor. Shards of glass and tomatoes splatter across the room. Giggling, she drops another and another.
What in tarnation is going on down there?
Oops, Mumsy. It seems I've had a bit of an accident.
Oh, you silly girl. What is that noise? I'm coming down.
Don't do that, Mumsy dearest. What would your precious boy have to say if he knew I let you come down here?
My canning! Oh, what have you done? Have you gone completely mad?
He promised me he'd never tell. But he told you. I'm his wife, and he told you.
What are you going on about?
I used to have a mummy once. She couldn't keep her promises either.
Oh, this madness is because he told me about your parents' murders.
Supposed to be the best wife, and he told you. He was supposed to love only me, and he told you. He just had to tell his Mumsy.
Oh, Ella, stop this foolishness. Here, I'll help you get this mess cleaned up.
No, you won't, Mumsy. Just leave it to me. After all, I'm the one who's good at cleaning up messes. After all, I cleaned up all that blood. There was much blood. I've always cleaned up my messes.
Something sure smells wonderful in here. Where are my girls? Mother? Ella? I'm home.
Oh, Jay, thank God you're home.
Whoa, what's wrong? What's got you all worked up?
It's your mother. I can't find her anywhere.
What are you talking about? Come, sit down. Tell me what's going on.
I'm trying to tell you, I can't find her.
Well, she has to be somewhere.
Oh, I don't know what's happening. I just went to the drugstore to get something for this strange rash on my arms, and when I got home, she had just vanished.
Well, did you look upstairs in the yard? She's got to be here.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I've searched everywhere. I've even gone to the neighbors. No one has seen her. All I found when I got home was that pie sitting on the counter still warm.
Then she's got to be close by. Maybe she went for a walk.
Her coat is still hanging up in the closet. I checked. Her purse and gloves are there on the hall table. You know she'd never leave the house without them. She's just vanished.
Okay, calm yourself, my dear. There has to be some kind of simple explanation.
I'm just so scared that something has happened to her.
Did you check the basement?
I did. And the attic, and the yard, and the garage, everywhere. She's just gone, Jay.
Maybe I should call the police.
I think you should.
I just can't imagine where she should have gone.
I'm scared. Call the police. We need to find her. What if she's been murdered?
So Jay did call the police. Statements were taken. Searches done. But not a trace of dear old Mrs. Kruger, dead or alive, could be found. Headlines of her mysterious disappearance greeted people when they opened their Monday paper. Somberness had fallen over the house on Spadina. On this night, 10 days after her disappearance, a full and ghostly moon hangs over Mount Shiam. An anguished breeze moans through the leaves of the trees along the boulevard. Both Jay and Ella toss in their bed, restless and fitful, as if something unsettling had touched their shoulder.
Oh!
Jay, can you hear that? Oh, please, no. No, not again. Oh! Let me out! Let me out, my precious boy! Jay, wake up! Wake up, I hear it again! They're back! Wake up!
What's going on? What is it?
I heard it again, those noises. That knocking, it's coming from the basement.
Oh, not this again. We've been over and over this. There's nothing in that basement. Nothing's coming for you. Just go back to sleep.
Please go and check. Look for me, please, for me. Just go and look, I'm begging you.
I am not looking in that basement again. It's after midnight and I need some sleep. This is getting out of hand. Why don't you take one of those sleeping pills Dr. Jones gave you?
I'm not crazy. I don't need those pills. Something is in that basement. Why won't you believe me?
Look, we're both stressed since Mother's disappearance. But this nightly hysteria of yours is not helping either of us. Go back to sleep.
Hush, I can hear it now. Listen.
Help me, my boy. I'm down here in the dark. Help me.
I can't hear a thing.
Why are you turning against me? You're like the rest of them.
I am not turning against you. It's you who should believe me. There is nothing in that basement. There's nothing out to get you.
I can hear them. I can hear them now, knocking and knocking and knocking. Why can't you hear it? Oh, Jay, my head hurts so bad. Please make it stop.
Mumsy needs you. Let me out.
Who is the them you're talking about? This crazy talk is getting worse, Ella. Tomorrow, I'm going to make you another appointment to see Dr. Jones. Maybe Mother was right.
What are you saying?
She thought there was something a little off about you, and that I should be careful.
Your dear Mumsy never loved anyone but you. And now you're against me too.
Look, I'm sorry. I didn't mean what I said. Just relax and try and get some sleep for both our sakes. In the morning, you'll feel better.
Maybe your Mumsy was right. Maybe you should be careful.
Go to sleep, Ella. Please, just go to sleep.
Just before dawn, our boy Jay wakes up to find Ella's side of the bed empty. With the house still in part shadow, he searches room by room, calling her name. Downstairs, he finds the basement door open. He can hear a voice coming from the darkness.
Ella? Is that you down there?
Mumsy says you've been bad.
Ella? Who are you talking to?
Your Mumsy. Oh, and my mommy and daddy too.
What on earth is going on? I'm coming down.
Remember that little room with the latch door? That's where he finds her. She's kneeling beside an old well, one that the house had been built over all those years ago. She pulled the cover off, and its mouth gapes open, black and threatening. On Ella's lap is a collection of Jay's childhood toys. She hums to herself as she drops them one by one into the open maw of the well.
The well! Get away from there! You'll fall in! What on earth are you doing down here?
It's okay, my dearest husband. They'll be down there to catch me.
I'll catch you too, my boy.
Who'll be down there? What are you talking about?
My mommy and daddy.
And Mumsy too.
Oh, Ella. What has happened to you? Your parents are dead. They're not down that well.
I know they're dead. I know they're dead because I'm the one who killed them. Silly you, I'm the one who killed them. Now they're down there waiting for me.
And there was so much blood.
No, that's not true. You just come away from there.
My precious boy. Can you hear her? Your Mumsy's down there too. She's been knocking and knocking on that basement door, but you wouldn't let her out. You're a naughty boy.
You're a naughty boy.
This is not happening. Take my hand, please. We'll go upstairs. I'll call Dr. Jones, and we can get you some help.
No, we won't. We have to stay here because your Mumsy is down the well. She baked a special pie just for you. Everything just for you. Everything just for you.
Always just for you.
Oh, Ella, but please come away from there. No one is down there, I promise you. You're sick. You need help. Please let me help you.
You promised me? It was always just you and Mumsy, wasn't it? I wanted to be the good wife. Mumsy doesn't want to stay down there. She wants her precious boy.
My precious boy.
What have you done?
Maybe she'll stay down there if she has your precious little toys. Maybe she'll stay down there and stop all that knocking and knocking and knocking.
Oh, it's true, isn't it? You really are a monster. I should have listened to her. Oh, why didn't I listen?
Be careful, my precious boy, or I'll put you down there too. Can you hear her? It's your Mumsy calling. Come to me, my precious boy, come to me. I'll bake you a pie. We could tell each other secrets. I'll do anything in the world for you, my darling, anything.
Jay never left the basement of the house on Spadina, but for that matter, neither did Ella. But she didn't end up down the well like the rest of them either. It was the mailman who finally called the police when he could no longer slip another envelope into the overflowing Kruger mailbox. The police found Ella lying on the basement floor, an old Buck Rogers lunchbox beside her, the gouges on her face from where she had torn at herself already healing. Her stiffened body lay in a torturous pose of twisted arms and legs. It had been a painful and slow death in the end. Poison was the coroner's official verdict. And they found that source of poison in Mrs. Kruger's tidy kitchen in the inner sanctum that only she had ruled. There, on the counter, beside a slightly moldy apple pie, sat an oleander plant, its deadly pink flowers drooping and withered.
Whoa! My mind is blown. So there were actually 3 murders? Well, 5 if you include Ella's parents. You've got Ella killing Mrs. Kruger, that's clear. Down the well, bye-bye. You've got Ella killing Jay. That's clear. Or is it? Then you've got Mrs. Kruger poisoning Ella. Now, I did a bit of research on this, and it seems that oleander poisoning, a horrible way to go, causes not only rashes and hives as we saw Ella succumbing to, but delirium. I'm not accusing Mrs. Kruger here, but is it possible that the delirium that Ella experienced as a result of the poisoning, is it possible that the delirium caused Ella to channel her own murderous past to kill both Mrs. Kruger and her loving and loyal son? That would make Mrs. Kruger responsible for all 3 deaths. Or, and think about this for a second, maybe, just maybe, Jay plotted the whole thing out himself. Why? Why did he share that information about Ella's parents' deaths with Mrs. Kruger? Was he plotting something untoward himself? Using Ella and her unstable nature to deliver a lethal blow to his mother because he wanted to lead a separate life from her and was just too weak to do so? Well, we'll just never know for sure, will we? Okay, time for us to say goodbye. Thanks for spending your time with us, and happy Halloween! Astrid! Astrid! She's stabbed! Wait. Oh my God!
Ask not for whom the bell tolls, Luger. It tolls for thee, my dear foe.
Vedder! My arch nemesis!
Yes.
It was you!
Yes.
But I thought you were dead! You died! On the bridge that day!
A lesson to you, Luger. Never believe your own eyes. Happy Halloween!